What's good? Welcome back. We're live with another Speed Lab. Today we have a very great plan. We have another motion athlete video that we're going to cover, and then we're going to review some athlete film. Except for we're going to start with I am very excited today because I have some athletes that are competing, and so I cannot wait to see how they do. I have more competing tomorrow. Of course, I have the team that I coach. We're on basically every weekend. So that is also exciting. So can't wait to hear those results and really work through, can we cover the basics of what a pre-meet routine should be like? Okay, so if you want to get faster, this should be your pre-meet. If you want to get faster, this should be your pre-meet routine. If you want to get faster, if you want to perform your best on meet day, you should have this meet routine. So when you get to the routine, to the track meet, it should be the same as every other practice, right? You should have the same warm up, which means you should have a thorough warm up. If you don't have one, I have one for you for free. Just click the link below. Um, but you should, right? When you get to the meet, you don't get to just warm up and then go straight to your race unless you time it perfectly. Often you have to worry about those intervals, those times in between doing the warm up to when your actual race starts. So, how do you manage that time? That's what we're going to cover. So, in between that time, after you've finished your warm up, there are multiple options that you can do, but let's go over what you should avoid first, right? This is not phone time. This is not chat time, talking with friends. This is like focus time, and focus means the elimination of all other alternatives. So if we eliminate all other alternatives other than the race that we're about to run, what can we do in between that time where we have finished our warm up and before the race starts? Well, you can always visualize your race. It's my favorite thing to do is to visualize your race in such great detail that you could actually feel the race. You could have those feelings. You should get goosebumps and all that stuff. So often that means sitting down, closing your eyes, picturing the race second by second, full speed, slow mo, picture the finish, picture the crowd, the sun, everything. You want to visualize everything. So that's what we should be doing in that time. But we can't sit for too long. So if we have more time than we thought before our race begins, we want to get up and do some build up, some strides, some bounds once every 5 minutes, once every 6 minutes. Your body will tell you ultimately when it's time to get up and do some activity, and you need to pay attention to that. And then in between that, after we do our build up down, build up back, you sit back down and you repicture the race. Now, one of the other alternatives that you can do in preparation for your race, along with like hydrating, is you can begin to learn the starter's cadence. So starters often have cadences like quarterbacks in football. So you can go over to the starter and just do some practice starts while they're setting off the heats before you or the races before you, just so you get familiar with their cadence. You don't want to start the race without having done buildups and spikes. And then I add overspeed drills into my buildups. If you don't know how to do that, I got a link for you below. Excuse me. So that's about what you should be doing in between. In between the time that you complete your warm up and that you have to line up to a race. A few more notes is that you want to keep your warm ups on until your race comes up. Make sure you're staying warm. So, what else do we have? Of course, you can always foam roll stretch, but you don't want to be overstretched. Okay. So, let's go ahead and go over. We have another motion athlete video that we're going to go over. This looks crazy, first of all. Motion Athlete, great channel. If you haven't checked them out, go over here, check them out. They make awesome animation style videos to simulate races that would otherwise be impossible. So they're awesome. They have Usain Bolt versus human speed limit. Quite excited to get to this because I haven't even seen a preview or anything for this. Someone recommended it to me in the comments of the last video. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Usain Bolt. Human speed limit. How fast is Usain Bolt? Nice drive face. Nice fan view. Top end speed and saying 958. How fast is motion bolt? Human speed limit. What is a motion bolt? The gray guy. I'm trying to get his position in the blocks. That's all right. Oh, got a little toe drag there. Bruh moving. You got there in 7 seconds. How can I know the human speed limit? Here we go. This is what we want to know. How can you know the human speed limit? Who is this gray guy? Let me give it a like real fast. Hard to tell, but so they did some research. Let's see how well they research things, because I used to do research for a living. What is the speed limit for the men's 100 meter dash? 9.40 as a lower bound of a 90% confidence interval using extreme value theory with tail modeling on the top 6 performances. 949, so that's a little bit different, 0.1 away. 95% lower confidence bound for the ultimate 100 men's 100 meter record, 949. Oh, this is using statistical and historical data. This is using physiological and biomechanical data. So 927, the relationship between ground contact time and running velocity, and a ground contact time limited to 70 milliseconds. Lowest figure recorded. And we predict a human running velocity speed limit, velocity limit of 12.75 meters per second. So the human limit for 100 meters under the same conditions would be 9.27. If you put together a perfect human being and the perfect race, I could certainly see something in the low 940 second range, maybe a little bit faster than that under certain legal conditions, meaning wind. Okay, so they chose this as the most relevant to the video, so it will be somewhere in the 9.4 second range. There is a point where your joints and stuff just won't be able to, you'll fly apart essentially. Let's see. My interpretation. If you put together a perfect human being and a perfect race, I would certainly see something in the low 940 range, maybe a little bit faster. Oh, we already read that. So they took into account that they had the perfect reaction time, maximum legal tailwind. So that's 2.0 meters per second, I think. Maximum altitude before assistance marking. So again, the higher you go, the less dense the air, the theoretically faster you can run. Although obviously, like at Mount Everest, you ain't running that fast. Most optimal strength time ratio possible. So how much force applied into the ground over what amount of period of time. Wear super spikes. I'm assuming they just mean those new spikes that everyone's complaining about. 933. That's 8 seconds. But that's not fair. Usain Bolt does not. Doesn't have all these perfect Perfect reaction time, maximum legal tailwind, maximum altitude, wear super spikes. Wait, I don't understand what they just did. Let's push these factors to the limit. Perfect reaction time. So did they give Usain all of these? Except for the super spike? Okay. Right. So the only difference between them are the supposed new super spikes that everyone's wearing and running amazing times in. If you haven't, if you don't know what spikes they are and you're interested, I will put a link below for those spikes. They're definitely worth it. I have a pair. I used to run in the non-super spikes. I have the super spikes. I'm much older now and slower, but they make a lot of difference. I can say that. Let's give Usain Bolt this price. Now they're just going to run the same time. Or no. So why did he lose? I can tell you why right now. So because his legs are so long, that's what gives him the gift of being the fastest person that's ever lived. But because they're so long, it's a long lever. And so longer levers will be slower rotationally. So he's slower rotationally compared to the other sprinters by a small margin, but his stride length is much bigger and power is much greater by a larger margin, that the small difference in his turnover doesn't matter. And he's still the fastest human ever. So I'm assuming when he races the human speed limit has the perfect, because ideally there's a perfect match between the length of the lever and the rotational speed, right? It's going to be a curve where there's a perfect point, and then all other points from that go downhill. And I'm assuming the human speed limit has that perfect balance of stride length and stride turnover. Dope. Great. So today we learned that Usain Bolt is beatable. You just have to go out and find an alien that runs at his superhuman speed limit. So good lesson. Another great video. A motion athlete. Shout out motion athlete. Jumpman. How fast could Usain Bolt have run in today's super spikes? It's impossible to determine the exact advantage provided by super spikes, as every athlete responds differently. However, this excellent investigation by the YouTube channel Jumpman offers insights that I find both thoughtful and convincing. Shout out Jumpman. Jumpman. 613-617. Oh, Motion Athlete, shout out. I'm excited for that 40-yard dash. They're doing a Usain Bolt 40-yard dash. That's going to be great. Bolt is closer to perfection than anyone is to Bolt. Yeah, that's a fact. This is literally the best simulation I've ever seen. Agreed. I saw a study somewhere saying the maximum speed a person could reach was somewhere between 30 to 32 or 35 miles per hour. Any faster than that, and your hamstring would detach from the bone. Yeah, I mean, at some speed, that is true. I don't know what speed that would be at. The fact that this is a great comment. The fact that Bolt was that close to perfection shows just how phenomenal he was. I wonder if anyone will ever be any better. Edit, guys, I'm not dumb. I know that for elite level sprinters, the gap isn't close at all. But I'm just saying that for other sprinters, the gap would be much bigger. Don't worry about the haters, bro. That's a great comment. Right. It goes to show you how much goes into the training that these athletes do and the level of perfection that goes into it. Like, it's hard to see because all of them are excellent. But the truth is that the difference between first and second seems relatively small, but the amount of work that goes in, the difference between first and second is usually magnitudes of difference. So that's the truth. Dope. All right. We're finna do this now. Boom, we're back. Okay, so here's Speed Lab. If you haven't been, click the link in the description and you can sign up, get your classroom, meet other members, meet other people that are trying to do what you're doing, hold each other accountable. We got our community here, right? We have film review, which we'll go over today. We have people posting wins. Excuse me. We have accountability posts. You can go ahead and post stuff to keep you on track. Okay. So let's watch some film real fast. So we have one of my athletes, Brian. Brian's running tomorrow, actually. He's coming back from an injury, so I had him doing some 100 repeats here. Just gauging what percentage he is, what times they are. It looks like he's humming down the track. He looks like he's running fast. Staying fairly relaxed and yet giving it a good amount of effort. That's what we're looking for on these. Then he has his times. He was repping about 13 seconds for his hundreds. That's exactly what we're looking for Brian, who's trying to run sub 60 in the 400. We know that we can run multiple 100s in a row at that pace. So now we need to run a 200 at that pace, and then a 300, and then a 400. Actually, it's like, and then a 250, and then a 300, and then a 325, and then a 350, and then a 400. Actually, that's more accurately the pattern. So here's Brian again. He's got 30s, 40s, and 60s. So he's working on speed this day. Brian and I already talked about it a little bit. So you see the weather, it's cold. That makes a difference. This is Brian's first rep. That makes a difference. So always make sure that you do your warm-up properly. And so as a result, Brian's sitting back a little bit while he sprints. Let's go ahead and back that up and watch it just regular speed. Okay, so you see him sitting, kind of scooting across the track. He's like scooting. This one's much better. Still sitting back a little bit, but he's gotten rid of the scoot. Now he's actually sprinting much more effectively. And then this one becomes much better. So Brian just gets better as he continues to get warm, like everyone else ever who sprints. And then he's on the turn because he's getting ready for the 400. Nice, Brian. Then he does some race modeling here. Let me text my wife. All right, let's see his race modeling. Got multiple camera angles. I need to find out who's on Brian's production team so they could film me as well. Nice and relaxed on that back stretch. That's what I'm looking for. The arms could be a little bit. Let's see what his second rep looks like. The arms could be a little bit. Actually, they look good. Then he fights uphill, a little bit too slow on this uphill portion, Brian. I know we discussed it, and he wasn't the freshest on this day. Also, this must be the second rep up because you're wearing something different. So this is the second rep uphill. The fatigue is setting in. You could see that. That's okay. And then the 150, same deal. He's not striking the same as he was in the hundreds or 40s and 60s, which is like expected. Obviously, we're still training. So this finish is good, though. I do like that finish. Good. What I'm looking for in the finish is that he maintains his turnover. I don't want him to get long and slow. I'd much rather him shorten it up to keep the turnover going, as opposed to being labored on the ground and long, right? Ideally, you want the perfect blend between the two, like we discussed with Usain Bolt. But this finish is good, so good. Good luck, Brian. He's running tomorrow. He's coming back from injury. I don't expect him to reach his goal, although he might. I have no idea. But let's see how it goes for Brian. Okay, Davi's profile. I suck very much. That's Cap Davi. Okay, so trying to improve my block start. I've recently been trying different things, and I found that Tyson Gay's way of exiting the blocks has been working great, although I'm not mimicking it perfectly. You know what I need to ask him, actually? What are the main takeaways from Tyson Gay that you felt made an improvement? Don't worry, I'll get it. There we go. That was spell check all on my own, by the way. So let's get it. I was talking about this actually with one of my other athletes. Block starts, coaches are going to coach them different. Athletes are going to prefer different setups. There should be freedom inside of that. There should also be there should be reasoning and routine behind it. One of my other athletes watched some Noah Lyles video and had some takeaways, and he had good takeaways. I had to help fill in some of the blanks as to like why he was most likely doing things the way that he was doing them. But when you try to learn block starts from me and then you try to watch videos from other people who may teach a different way, there ends up being a you know, what would you say, a infinite number of possibilities as to how you can set your blocks up. And so it can get a little confusing. So, you should prioritize your coach's advice, but then if you have something that's you want to try and you try it and it works, great. And if it doesn't, then go back to how you were taught to do it, right? So that's what I'll say. So I am interested, Davi, in what you mean by Tyson's Gay's way of exiting the blocks. I'd love to hear details because I went over, as you saw in my comment, which maybe you didn't see. These look great. Tyson Gay is a legend. Whatever you're doing seems to be working. Now, I'd like you to actually explain, what are you doing? Because these do look, this block start does look good. Okay. So you've got back foot against that pedal. I like front foot against that pedal. I like a little crunched, a little crammed here. So although it looks like maybe it's actually a good distance, I think that your hips, let's see. Let's compare. We got Satchel, who's running a race right now. Good luck, Satch. We had him post in the wins column some of his block starts. Can't see from that angle. Let me see if I have another video. This is the athlete I had the discussion with about Noah Lyles. He's one of his favorite runners. And yeah, I feel like you're a little crunched, Davi. Based on the way that I coach block starts. That's good arms out of the blocks. That's good extension off those pedals. One thing is, as opposed, don't put your eyes straight down. You want to look where you want to go. So they should be, your head should still be down, but your eyes should be looking through the brow of your head, out in front of you, not straight down. That will help correct some of your posture as well. Then you have a big cycle. You have a big cycle over the top. So you don't have low heel recovery for any of those steps. So I'm sure it's hard for you to stay in your drive phase. That would be my guess anyway. I don't actually know. So I have some drills that you should do, which I'll upload into the classroom, Davi. Okay. So they're acceleration drills, early acceleration drills in the classroom. I will have that course up for you, as well as, I forget my boy's name who wanted the same thing. Where are you at? Oh, he's in the messages. Yeah. Okay. Dope. All right, that's all we have for today. So I'll see y'all later. Good luck to everybody out there who has a meet coming up. Let me go join go join the Speed Lab and let me know what results. I want to know. I'm interested. And I want to know what did you run this weekend? And where do you want to be in 30 days? Okay. So click that link and let me know. All right. Peace.